With the data import utility here, you can import reference data into CloudRF as KML, KMZ, CSV, or GeoJSON for visual reference or analysis. The purposes are listed here. In this select, we can have a reference display, coverage analysis, the MANET tool, or the best site analysis. So first of all, we're just going to demo loading on some layers for reference display. In this case, just a KML with some local place marks. So I'm loading on a KML, it's validated the KML, and I click OK, and we can see we've just got some local notable places. That's just for visual reference. If we want to actually load on a data set to do some analysis, such as postcodes or streetlights or smart meters, we can now load in 60,000 rows through the interface. So go back to the tool, select coverage analysis. In this case, I'm going to load in postcodes or zip code data for this area. I'll just select it from my file system. It's a CSV file and there's over 1,000 points in here. The formatting of the file conforms to a specification. It's very simple: latitude, longitude, ID, group, described in the help. Click OK and the postcodes are on the map. Notice that we've also got the groups. So the groups in this case are neighborhoods, and the neighborhoods are listed here. At the moment, we're not covering any of the neighborhood because we haven't actually done any RF planning. Now I'm going to place a Tirana panel antenna on top of this building here, and we'll see what happens with the coverage. So straight away, with just one API call, we've analyzed 1,000 zip codes and I've got 83% of Barnwood covered, so that's not bad for a first stab. You get the idea here. You could add different sites, you could exercise different locations and see what works and what doesn't work. Obviously coming down off the building is not as effective. We're down to 68% coverage. So that's coverage analysis. The next feature is the MANET tool. Now the MANET tool is a very powerful API, but at the moment, in the interface at least, previously you've had to click on the map. Well, now we don't have to click on the map. I'm going to go and pick a template. In this case, I'll just go and grab an MPU5 on high power, but I'm not going to click on the map. I'm going to load in a KML. So I browse. I'm going to pick 6 predefined positions in Barnwood. They're all valid, and put them on the map. As soon as they go onto the map, the MANET tool is triggered and the coverage for the 6 locations is modeled with the parameters from the template. Notice I didn't have to go through any of the menu here. So that's a very quick way and very scalable way to do the MANET tool. The MANET tool supports hundreds of nodes, so it should support any KML you care to load up to 100 kilometers in total radius. Finally, the BSA tool, best site analysis up here. If you recall, this one requires you to draw a polygon, and that can be quite tedious if the polygon is quite large. So now I've just selected my BSA template, and instead of drawing, I'm going to pull in a KML polygon, because this is the efficient way to do it, not just to save time, but also to achieve precision, especially if we're talking about precise boundaries. So BSA, like MANET, was executed as soon as the KML was loaded, and I can see the best and the worst sites in this industrial estate here. Now it's not just topographic, because this building here that's good is actually not very tall. It's just quite central. So that's the data import utility. It's down here at the bottom, and that's where you load in your data.